why would you pay those people, all this money that it costs to get somebody like a Jason Tatum or Conor McGregor or somebody like that? Like, why would you pay them when I can get a no name for a couple $100 to make me an ad? And it's going to do just as well.
What's the next big key to profitable Facebook ads in 2024?
Yeah, so the next big key, I don't really have a catchy headline for it, but we're going to call this, what's working right now. So
There we
what
go.
we're seeing that's working out in the field, because this changes every 6 months, every 12 months, and there are a lot of shifts happening right now. So we're going to review some different creative formats and just show you what's currently working, because again, this shifts a lot. The biggest thing that I've seen is there has been a big push for UGC over the last couple of years, right? You could literally, it's kind of like 5+ years ago, 6+ years ago, you could throw up a static ad, put a little text on it, or even a stock photo, and it would work. UGC's kind of been that way the last couple of years, where I could literally like I've literally handed my wife a product and like, hey, here's one of our clients' products. It's like a skincare product. Go shoot me a 60-second selfie video. And she'd shoot me a 60-second video about this product. We wouldn't even do any editing on it, throw it in the ad, and it would work. That's not the way anymore. Like UGC's become so saturated now that we're almost seeing a pendulum swing a little bit away from UGC. Like the UGC's got to be better, and we're even seeing some other formats come back. Like we are seeing static start to work again, and even like celebrities and very influential people were kind of like out. Like, no, why would you pay those people all this money that it costs to get somebody like a Jason Tatum or Conor McGregor or somebody like that? Like, why would you pay them when I can get a no name for a couple $100 to make me an ad? And it's going to do just as well. That's coming back too. We're seeing, celebrities start to outperform influencers again, because now everyone's an influencer. So a lot of things are coming back full circle to back where they were 5 years ago. Again, UGC still works, but you got to do better at it, which I think is what you're going to show here is some kind of like top notch, user generated, more edited TikTok style type ads.
Right. And I wanted folks that are, again, fairly new. If you've never heard the term UGC, Mason just alluded to it there. That's user generated content. Again, when you're having, people that are just regular folks, not paid they're paid actors in a lot of cases, but not a high production value per se, because it looks like real people just doing stuff from their mobile phone. Right. So when we're talking about the creators that are working right now, before you could just have somebody talking to the screen. It could be standard influencer, whatever. Now, when you're rolling out creatives that are featuring folks, and you want it to be like a higher level, like we said, a little bit more TikTok style. So here's an example of a really effective user-generated content style ad from True Classic, right? And again, you can get an idea what hook they're taking. Even before we go into what the actual messaging itself is, we can gather what the hook is, who they're trying to get to, right? Can we go back in time? So when Mason talks about having your ads call out to people and stand out, this is like older, middle-aged type of person call out, because again, you're going back in time. And for those of us that are, over the age of 30, we're not necessarily built like we were in our 20s, right? Especially guys, right? We feel it in our midsections, right? And that affects our confidence, and it can affect just how you feel about yourself. So they're speaking to that in their ad creative and the type of messaging that they're using to speak. Oh, hey, if you can relate to this, or you're worried about, your arms look good, but maybe your belly doesn't look as good as it used to, standard 30+ year old guy type of concern. Hey, this is the type of product that can do well to you, or call out to you. And again, it looks like it's shot on a phone. It's not super high production value, especially if just the TikTok style people reaction videos, right? Nothing too insane there. But again, it's calling out to the target audience, but it's also quick and engaging. So let's take a quick look at it. Right, we won't turn the sound on so we don't get any copyright violation issues. right? But notice how it's not just showing the person, whether it's a user or whether it's a actor or an influencer, right? We've got text overlays calling out different benefits, folks showing off, right? Clearly having a little bit of fun, showing product in use, and then we've got an offer at the end. More on that in a bit. But Mason, what do you think about this creative here that we just took a look at?
I like it a lot. I mean, True Classic obviously is a category leader in their space. They've carved out a really unique niche. They kind of came in behind like Cuts and Built and were like, hey, we can offer a quality product and have it be a little cheaper. And they also were smart in that they picked a little bit of a different ICP because like Cuts and Built, it's all like ripped dudes and a little bit younger. True Classic was like, well, nobody's servicing, kind of the 30 plus crowd or the dudes that aren't, in as good a shape. And so they took that angle. So they did a good job kind of picking their niche. From an ads perspective, though, this is a great example. Like the best ads right now, honestly, they emulate great posts. Like this would be a great organic TikTok post. It looks like that. And so, because people, again, they're overwhelmed with ads. So a really
Right.
great ad a lot of times does not really look like an ad. Obviously, when you get a few seconds in, you can tell that. But like, I mean, look at the catchphrase, right? Like, if my man wears this, he's getting lucky tonight. Like, that's a super grabby headline, and it doesn't scream, buy this shirt. Like, it's kind of taking the side door in to hook you and get you to pay attention. And then again, the whole format of the post, at least of the ad for the first half, really mimics sort of a traditional TikTok style video with having the girl down in the bottom corner and kind of reacting and pointing to it. So if you want to make a great ad, look at the great organic posts and then try to draw from that, for your formatting and your inspiration.
Yeah, no, that's a fantastic point that you made there, right? And that is, again, folks are bombarded with ads, right? And now they're seeing more and more ads with people in it and doing stuff and describing things into their smartphones. But this kind of comes across as content, right? We've got like you said, like your kind of your viral hook. She's pointing, she was reacting, right? And it's not like, hey, this is 50% off. Yes, they give you an offer at the end of it, but it opens by talking to like a desire or a want or a feeling that your ideal customer has. And if that is them, then that is going to resonate. Whether you are targeting, men that are fans of like Levi's jeans or something like that, or whether you're using no targeting at all, if they see a creative like that, and maybe they're a former football player that used to have like a six pack, and now I'm missing a couple packs, something like that can resonate with me, right? But that's an example of, again, a video ad that, when done well, can still crush it online. But basically you mentioned that there are different formats that are doing well, almost like as a counter to this type. So maybe you can show us an
Yeah.
example
So
of what you're talking about.
yeah, absolutely. So, like I touched on, we're starting to see some formats that kind of went away for a while come back. Everybody's doing UGC right now. And so we're starting to see statics come back. Like we're starting to see really strong photography or even graphics come back. And again, we talked about with that ad going in through the side door with the hook. But what you need to do also is once you get them in the side door, direct to value props and unique selling propositions. What that ad does really well, it gets you in the side door in the first 10 seconds with kind of the funny hook, but then it's like, look how it fits on the arms, look how it hides the belly, boom, 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 going right through all those selling props. And so a way that we've been able to do that recently has been with comparison graphics. So I'm going to show this graphic here. This is one that's running for one of our clients right now. This graphic was a game changer. They were doing just UGC, and the UGC was doing pretty well, but this graphic beat their goal CPA by 50%. Complete game changer for their ad account because it's just so quick and to the point. So this is for sugar-free gummies. They're really good actually. They're organic. They're actually like healthy for you, like a couple grams of sugar in them. But we just went straight head to head with Sour Patch Kids. Like half the calories, way less carbs, way less sugar, tons of fiber, like easy to understand in 10 seconds why this is superior and why it's a better choice than Sour Patch Kids. And this format just caused the account to pop off. Another thing too is, again, because everybody is doing UGC and everybody is doing video, the CPMs for video on Facebook have gotten really expensive. So It's actually cheaper right now to run a static ad than a video ad because there's less competition for that inventory. Now you're going to get a lower click-through rate usually on a graphic versus a video, but you'll still end up with a cheaper CPC because the ad space is cheaper. So that's a reason to chase after static a little bit more and try some different static concepts, because even though the click-through rate might be lower, you might end up with a better CPC, a better cost per acquisition, a better ROAS by going after that, discounted ad space that static occupies.